Peggy 3.
We're back once again with another boot room. This week we're looking at some skill moves that not only look good, they may also help you beat a defender. Darren, what have you got for us?
Yeah, we've got 5 moves to look at that are useful in all kinds of different situations. So let's start with the turn and spin.
Good, all right. This is a silky smooth move. How do you do it?
You do it by holding left trigger, and then when you're running right, hit the right stick to the right first, and then up or down depending on which direction you want to spin in. There are 2 versions of it, a version for 4-star skill players and 5-star skill players. The higher version, you just do it a little bit quicker and knock the ball with the outside of your foot, which makes the whole process faster.
Now, it's a good way of getting past a defender. You obviously get your body between the defender and the ball, but why would you want to use it and where should you use it?
I think the best place to use it is around the box, when you've got a defender running sort of parallel to you and they're either expecting you to sort of run on and put a cross in. If you do the stop and turn then, you can kind of spin them and end up in the box and hopefully in a shooting position. And what you want to remember there is to spin onto your strong foot so that when you do get the opportunity to shoot, you've got a really good chance of scoring.
Now, you mentioned running to the right there, but it's important to know that all these moves are context sensitive depending on the direction you're running, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. So if you were shooting the other way and you wanted to do the stop and turn move, you'd hold left trigger, hit the right stick to the left, which is the way that you're running, and then up or down depending on which direction you wanted to turn in.
Great, okay, let's run to the right and go to the next one, which is the heel to heel, isn't it?
Yeah, again, there's kind of 2 versions of this. There's a version for 3-star players and then a version for 4-star plus players. And the effect is the same regardless of which one you use. Basically, you kind of stop the ball and then quickly nudge it again. So it's just great for buying you that second of time to sort of fool a defender and move past him. You do that by running to the right, you're holding the left trigger, you flick the right stick to the right and then quickly to the left, and that's going to produce a heel flick depending on what skill play you're using.
So you mentioned different star levels. What's the difference between, say, doing that trick with a 3-star player and a 5-star player?
The effect of the trick is pretty much the same. It's just that added little bit of flair that you get with the 4-star plus players. It just looks a bit slicker, but the effect is pretty much the same.
Right, let's move on to the chop. Now, there's a couple of ways to do it. We've looked at the way to do it with the button combinations, but you can also do it with the right stick, can't you?
Yeah, the heel chop's a really nice move for changing direction quickly. To do it with the right stick, you would hold the left trigger as you're running to the right, and then flick the right stick diagonally back to the left or the right twice, depending on which direction you want to chop in.
Just like a little sort of chop chop?
Exactly, yeah. It's a very quick sort of double flick back diagonally, and that's going to make your player chop into that direction. It's really good if you're in traffic, so if you're surrounded by a lot of players and there's tackles coming in, it's a brilliant one for just shifting the ball and moving away into the space, maybe even drawing a foul or beating the goalkeeper.
Now let's move on to quite a tasty one. We can see Benzema doing it here, the scoop turn. Yeah,
the scoop turn's one of my favourite moves. It's useful in so many situations, and I really like it when you've got your back to goal. So as long as you've got a defender that's really close to you and sort of trying to win the ball from you, which happens very regularly, especially online, then the scoop turn's going to be a really sort of potent weapon for you.
It looks really cool. How do you do it?
So you hold the left trigger, and then just as the defender comes really close to you to go and win the ball, you do the fake pass move that we talked about before, and then use the left stick to control the direction of your spin, which sounds quite complicated, but actually is pretty simple once you've had a couple of practices. And
it looks great, and it's pretty lethal, as we can see here.
Yeah, and you want to try and make sure that the important thing is that the defender's close. I know I keep saying that, but if he's too far away, you'll just turn into him and be tackled. So make sure the defender's close, and then when you scoop, try to end up again on your strong foot so that you can just straight away have a shot at goal.
Darren, let's move on to roulette. I can see you doing it here, and if you did that against me, I would be throwing the controller across the room.
Yeah, it can be quite a frustrating move, particularly if you're playing against somebody that really likes to go and hunt the ball or press the ball, because as they come in, you use the roulette to protect the ball from the defender, because you get your body between them, and then you just spin away, and it can be really effective, and as you see in this clip, you can use it against the goalkeeper when he comes rushing out.
So what's the button combo for this?
So for this, when you're running to the right, you hold the left trigger, flick the right stick back, sort of to the left, and then move it round in a 3/4 circle so that it ends up at the 6 o'clock position. If you want to spin the other way, then you reverse it and end up in the 12 o'clock position.
That makes sense, and as we can see here, yeah, you annoy the goalkeeper somewhat.
Yeah, it's all about timing that really. You know, you need to be spinning just at the point as he's coming in to intercept, and like I say, the great thing about it is your body is between the defender and the ball, so if they do mistime their tackle, there's a pretty good chance they'll foul you, and in that situation you'd win a penalty.
Thanks for those skill tips, Darren. I believe we're looking at something similar next week.
Yeah, next week we're going to look at some advanced techniques that could really give you the edge.
Good stuff. Now don't forget, you can get more musings from Darren Cross in Match Magazine. That's out every Tuesday, and we'll see you next week for more FIFA 13 tips.